Hello, this is Mr. Chabry, and here we have another battle from the same Twitch stream as the last battle. This is against Mr. Dynasty SJP, and we're going to go ahead and get into it. So this is the same team as I brought last time, and he's actually bringing a pretty interesting team. It's got a nice group of Pokemon. I'm going to lead with my Landorus. I don't want to lead with my, I really didn't want to lead with my Ninetales because I knew he has this thing. And I think this is the best possible lead for me. I was kind of contemplating if this thing could have been a Zoroark, but since he switched it out so fast, I was pretty sure that wasn't the Zoroark. So I'm just going to go ahead and set up my Stealth Rocks. He doesn't have anything on his team to get rid of Stealth Rock, so I think that's going to help really well in the long run. So here, I want to keep my Landorus alive, so I'm going to actually bring out my special wall here, my Araquanid, as he just goes for the Ice Beam. It's not going to do barely anything to my Araquanid. Araquanid takes that pretty well. He's going to now switch out his Lola and send out his Cradily, I guess expecting a water move. But I don't really have a reason to go for a water move on a Milotic. I actually go for the Poison Jab, and it works out for me here anyway, even though it doesn't do that much. It was still the safest thing to go for. He actually has the red card, and I think that's pretty interesting. Somehow Landorus gets drug out here, and I'm actually going to go ahead, pop my Z move, try to take out this Cradily as fast as I can, because the quicker I can take out some of these defensive walls, the easier it's going to be for me to handle this team. So I'm just going to Supersonic Sky Strike this Cradily and completely devastate it. My Landorus is going to fly up into the sky and fly right into it and completely... Actually, no, not completely, because it lives with one little sliver of health. But, I mean, I can just Earthquake it, and unfortunately he has his own Stealth Rocks up now. But I can easily Rapid Spin that away with my Fortress. Here I get the critical hit, where it does not matter at all. It'd been nice to get the critical hit on the last turn, but there's not much I can do there. He's going to bring out his Milotic now. I do not want to leave my Landorus in, but I know my Landorus is faster, so I'm just going to go for a U-turn here and get some chip damage on it. Could have went for U-turn earlier, but I just hard switched. I don't remember why. But now I've got my Araquanid back out here. He's just going to Scald this time. I'm not too worried about that because Scald cannot burn my Araquanid because of Water Bubble. Water Bubble is a pretty cool ability. It makes your water moves do more damage. Plus you cannot be burned. So now he brings out his Conkeldurr. I'm just going to Poison Jab, hoping for the burn. I was actually hoping for the poison. I was hoping for the poison on Milotic. That'd make it a lot easier to take care of, but he's got this Conkeldurr out here now. So now I'm going to bring in my Fortress. This is my physical wall. He's going to go for the knockoff. That's going to knock off my leftovers, but I'm not too worried about that. He gets the crit here, though. That's very unfortunate. Now he's going to go for Drain Punch, try to get a little bit of health back. But it's not going to be that much health back. It's going to be almost full, though. Here I'm free to go for the Rapid Spin. I've taken care of his Cradily, so now I don't have to worry about Stealth Rocks on my side for the rest of this battle. Now he's going to finish off my Fortress with another critical hit Drain Punch, and that's very unfortunate. If he didn't get those crits, Fortress would still be here. I would have been able to go for the Toxic Spikes and, yeah, take care of that Milotic a lot easier. I was actually hoping to get 2 layers of Toxic Spikes there so I can badly poison the Milotic, but that's very unfortunate. Now I'm going to bring out my Ninetales. I'm going to go ahead and get the Auroraville. I think I'm pretty safe in doing that. I don't have to worry about going down to whatever he wants to do since I do have my Sash, but he actually goes for the Drain Punch there. And it's not really going to do that much because Ninetales actually has some pretty decent bulk, plus that Fairy typing helps it not be super effective against that. So I'm just going to go for the Moonblast as he just continues with the Drain Punch. So it's not going to be doing that much. He's getting a little bit of health back, but not enough that he can actually 1v1 this Ninetales. And here he's going to go for the Mach Punch. Try to get some chip damage before Ninetales takes out his Conkeldurr. And that's actually what's going to happen here. Now his Conkeldurr is gone. I'm pretty happy about that. But now he brings in his Trevenant. And I'm actually pretty sure that this Trevenant is actually not a Trevenant, because he hasn't showed any other Pokemon that ended up being Zoroark, and this actually, other than Zoroark, is the last Pokemon that he has yet to show. Here he actually goes for Night Days, and Araquanid takes that pretty well. So yeah, this is Zoroark. This is 100% Zoroark. So now he's going to withdraw his Zoroark and send back out his Milotic. I'm just going to go, yeah, he's going to take some damage. I'm just going to go for the Leech Life because I knew that was a, I knew that would have been super effective against his Zoroark, and it would have probably taken it out. But since he switched back into Milotic, I just get a little bit of health back. And unfortunately, my Auroravel is now gone. And he also shows me that he has the Recover. So that's going to be pretty unfortunate here. I'm just going to go for the Poison Jab, try to poison this thing. And I actually do end up poisoning it. Sometime I might actually switch Toxic on this thing, because I think Toxic would be a little bit better. But I don't know, because I really like the Assault Vest on my Araquanid, because it makes it so much more bulky. It's something I'd have to think about. So now I take an Ice Beam. Not very effective. I'm just going to go for the Leech Life, get a little bit of health back, try to 1v1 this thing a little bit. I know eventually I'll probably have to switch out something that's more of a threat to this thing, because he's not toxic poisoned, he's just normal poisoned. So he could easily recover all of this health back. So actually here, he actually switches out and sends out his Microwave, as I just go for the Leech Life, trying to get a little bit of health back. It's not going to do very much to this thing, because this thing resists it. And Rotom's actually a pretty bulky Pokemon. It's actually surprising how bulky Rotom is. So here I'm going to actually switch out. I do not want to take a Thunderbolt. And I'm going to send out my Landorus. Landorus is really the best thing to check this thing's electric moves. And he actually goes ahead, goes for the Volt Switch, and then he tries to go for the Trick. I think that might have been a misclick, but anyway, that was a misplay. I actually go for the Earthquake, expecting him to hard switch out, since he probably wanted to not stay in. I know a lot of Landoruses run Stone Edge. This one does not have that though, so I actually keep going for Earthquake, expecting him to want to switch out. Here he's going to go for Dark Pulse. Try to get a little bit of damage. I'm just going to go for U-turn because clearly he's just going to stay in with this Rotom. And I don't want to end up going down to a Rotom with my... I don't want my Landorus to go down to a Rotom. No, I'm going to U-turn since I am slower than the Rotom. And I'm going to send out my Lopunny. And now this Rotom is in range. I'm pretty sure it's in range to go down to whatever my Lopunny wants to do to it. I'm actually just going to go for the return, and that will take care of this here Rotom Microwave. So, it's actually an oven, isn't it? A toaster oven or something. I don't know. But anyway, now he brings out his Trevenant, and this one is clearly the actual Trevenant, since he came in at full health, whereas Zoroark took a little bit of damage. Here I'm just going to go into my Landorus, get the Intimidate on this thing. I actually was switched out because I did not want to take the Will-O-Wisp on my Lopunny, because I knew Lopunny was probably going to end up being the best thing I had to win against his team. So I get the Intimidate on this thing. I'm just going to go for Earthquake, try to get some chip damage. I know Landorus is probably going to go down in the long run. So there's no real reason to switch out, because I don't want him to predict that and get the Will-O-Wisp on anything. And I want to try to bring Trevenant down to where I know that Lopunny could probably take it out. So now I'm just going to, you know, let Landorus go down to this Trevenant. No real reason to keep my Landorus alive, especially when it's got the burn. And most of his physical attackers are already gone. So I'm just going to let Landorus go down to this Horn Leech. It ends up being a critical hit, but it doesn't matter. I only had 5 health anyway. So now my Landorus is gone. I'm going to send out my Typhlosion. And I'm ready to get some sweeping done with this thing. I love Typhlosion. My favorite thing to do is sweep with Typhlosion. So now, I know his Milotic at really low health. Actually, just go ahead, go for the Eruption. I want to see if this is a 2-hit KO on this Lola. And it ends up being a 2-hit KO on this Lola, so I'm pretty excited about that. Actually, it ends up not being a 2-hit KO because Lola goes down to its own poison. So, Typhlosion has nothing standing in the way of it sweeping. So now he sends out this thing. I don't remember if this was... it's kind of hard to tell if it's the Zoroark or if it's the Trevenant, since they were pretty close to the same level of health. But I just go for the Eruption. There's no reason not to go for the Eruption. And that takes out the Zoroark. So now, Typhlosion is going to get a nice sweep. I love it when Typhlosion gets a sweep. It is my favorite Pokemon. And Typhlosion should get more love than what it gets in competitive play. Because if you can get an Eruption sweep, if you can take care of anything that resists Fire-type moves, you can get a nice sweep with Typhlosion. So anyway, Typhlosion gets a sweep in this battle. And it ends up being a really nice, that was really nice there, Typhlosion. And I was just so excited Typhlosion took out a lot of these Pokemon. So, if you like this, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you in the next battle video.